Hello, welcome to our presentation. Our topic is causes and effects of migration to the cities. Our group is Group 5. We are Nguyen Minh Anh, Trinh Minh Anh, Nguyen Thi Ha Uyen, Lê Vũ Hải My, and our slide, including definition, causes, and effects. To begin, I will talk about the definition of migration. This is the process of people traveling to a new place to live, usually in a large numbers. And migration to the cities is the process of people moving from rural areas to urban areas. Firstly, I will talk about the causes of migration. I will tell you about the first factors. Advances in machinery have increased the productivity of farm equipment, so fewer people are required to manage farming in the countryside. Therefore, the number of job opportunities in the countryside is decreasing and becoming less diverse. Secondly, some people are forced to leave the rural areas due to disasters, such as drought, flooding, or increasing sea levels, which are often exacerbated by climate change and environmental stress. Finally, many rural dwellers still lack access to basic amenities, leading to their migration to the cities. This means that these people do not have easy access to electricity, water, roads, and reliable transportation. Moreover, education and healthcare systems in some countryside are very poor. Then, Trinh Minh Anh will tell you about the pull factors of city migration.
Well, thank you. Moving to pull factors that lead to migration, I think the first one might be the better job markets in the metropolis. Most firms are located in cities rather than the countryside due to the convenience of living in modern urban. Furthermore, job seekers prefer finding changing and interesting fields such as technological, manufacturing, and service industries, which have emerged in the cities. The second factor relates to educational opportunities. While major and affluent universities are located in or near big cities, these influential institutions offer more majors and draw famous professors whom students prefer to study under. Besides, by locating in urban, these universities have students a lot in gaining work experience as well as social skills. Living in a big cities also give you access to better medical care and transportation. Well, we all know that many of the big and top-rated hospitals are located in cities. Unlike the country hospital, handling with controlled patients, the large populations in metropolis hospital had to be more prepared for emergency that may occur. And because most modern cities in the world have well-developed public transportation networks. In fact, most city residents spend less time commuting to other places such as their workplace and schools, whereas they may spend even 3 times if they were in countryside. One more point for the cities. And the final reason, which I suppose to be the most attractive, is lifestyle. Cities draw ethnically diverse individuals, and the collective culture create an exciting cultural backdrop. Many people move to a city just to experience a melting pot of things such as foods, activities, and movies from places that they never imagined visiting. Okay, that's all the cause of migration. Now, let's move on to the next part, and we will show you about it.
All right, thank you, Mia. Now I will move on to the impacts of migration. To be specific, I will talk about the positive effects. First and foremost, migration offers many viable job opportunities. They enable people to earn much higher income than they would have back in their country of origin. As a result, it provides the destination country with a ready source of cheap labor. Because migrants often do many unqualified jobs for very little wage. Also, thanks to migrations, individuals will have better career prospects, better income, and even good health plans, which is why the migration numbers worldwide have been increasing exponentially over the last decade. Next, migration will bring to cities much skilled labor. Some immigrants are highly experienced and talented, and they contribute to knowledge and production for the prosperity of all in that country. Another effect is cultural diversity. Migrants provide diversity in many places. People often react along predictable lines, but cultural diversity is in the good sense. It enables the community to come together and even helps it to act as a cohesive unit. Diversity also helps cultures and traditions to loosen the grip on racism, discrimination, and things like that. Diversity helps people learn about other ways of life and what goes on in other places of the world. Last but not least, the effect of migration is remittance. Let's me explain it. When people leave a country to go to work, they would send money back to their family in their home country. Remittances are a large part of some countries' economies. And finally, remittances can improve the well-being of family members left behind and boost the economies of receiving countries. However, every coin had its two faces, and Minh Anh will show you the negative one of the migration.
Yes, thank you. Apart from these above good conditions, those migration also exerts various negative impacts that we can easily witness. First of all, viewing from the nature side, this flocking to cities will mainly cause population density and will colonize the animal's habitat. And we all know that the energy-saving industrial sectors or any daily activities almost derive from non-alternative sources. And as time passes by, humans will soon run out of these invaluable sources. And additionally, this emigration somewhat harms the surrounding nature, which then triggers a lot of pollutions, such as exhaust fumes released from vehicles, sewage discharged directly from both factories and households, and mountains of landfills awaiting disposal, or the heat captured by cement roads, clad buildings, and the ozone layer also bring about the greenhouse effect. And finally, is it climate change. On the human side, as Nguyen said, people move to the cities in the first place for job opportunities, but in reality, there is still the existence of unemployment. You can see on the screen, unemployment rate in urban areas almost doubles that in the countryside. And secondly, it is said that being a citizen means that working in a more open and crowded space of sharing information, but clearly people are just involved in a smaller world. Suppose those migrants couldn't adapt to their new environment, it is easy for them to get an urban loneliness or the isolation. And finally, cities are also considered a breeding ground for crime and disease. Due to the great social diversity, the gap between the rich and the poor and the young and the elderly is expanding, and something like the gender or religious discrimination have also worsened. Not only that, the high population density also enables infectious disease and health risk. The poor sanitation and waste management, together with the close contact between the resident, contribute to the favorable setting for insects and viruses, which will finally end up in the human respiratory system. So to conclude, rural to urban migration is an unavoidable phenomenon. One said that big success does not come without big challenges. So does a migration bring optimistic or pessimistic outcome? It depends on the migrant choice. So that's all of our presentation. Thank you for listening.